Alright, so to start off, I usually dice up an onion. I just had a half and a chunk in my fridge, so I thought I would just use that. Just a normal yellow onion, nothing special there. Just diced into smallish pieces. And for spices, I use some whole green cardamon, cumin seeds, curry powder, cinnamon, cayenne, bay leaf, garam masala. Later on in the video, you'll see some ground ginger and a garlic that I forgot, and some coconut milk. There's also going to be some lentils here. Yeah, here they are. Red split lentils. I rinse them a few times and then just put them in a pot with water. I don't measure, I just cover them. And just keep boiling them until they're soft and ready to go. Throughout the boiling process, I skim off the foam off the top, which you'll see later. And in my Dutch oven, I have it on about a medium heat. I'm just going to add some coconut oil, just enough because what you want to do is get the spices browned and just lightly toasted so the flavor comes out. So now we're adding in some cloves. I added about 5 whole cloves into the pot, and the cardamon, some ground cumin, or not ground cumin, sorry, whole cumin, bay leaf, cinnamon. Yeah, there it is there. Just give it a little stir until you kind of smell it. It only takes a minute or so, not even a minute actually. And then you can add in your onions that you diced earlier, which here they are. Give that a quick stir. I also realized that maybe I need a little bit more oil, so I added that in as well. It was looking a little bit dry. You want to have a good volume of fat so that the spices flavor comes out. They need heat and fat for some reason, and that usually makes it pretty good. I'm also skimming off the foam off the lentils. Lentils seem to be really dirty, so even though I rinse them like 3 or 4 times, they still get foamy at the top. So I like to just skim that off, and yeah, I think it helps them cook better, and I don't want to be eating that, so away it goes into the little measuring cup. Once the onions have softened a little bit, I like to add in a big can of diced tomatoes. This is just plain, unflavored, something random from the reduce bin. You just want some sort of tomato base, and that's pretty good. See how quickly the foam added up again on those lentils. They'll be pretty close to being done at this point. So I'll just give everything a big stir, let the flavors mellow a bit, and at this stage of the game, you're just waiting for the lentils to finish cooking, in which they pretty much just did finish. I tested it by eating one. Pour it in, even with all the leftover liquid. It all goes in. And I forgot that garlic, so I just pressed in one more from earlier. There's only 1 clove in the whole thing. This is frozen ginger. It's easier to grate this way. I did probably, I don't know, a teaspoon or so, just to taste. Some more curry powder, maybe half a tablespoon there. Garam masala. This is like the bulk of the flavor. It really depends on the type you have with what it's going to taste like. I also wanted a little bit of salt and flavor, so I added some chicken better than bouillon. You're supposed to do 1 teaspoon per 1 cup, but I think that's a bit overkill, so I did 1 heaping teaspoon for that whole pot. Then I had these little cans of coconut milk. Normally I buy a normal can, but this is what I ordered online and I didn't realize it, so I had them, so I put them in. Later on I realized that it wasn't enough, so I added more. That other thing I just added there was some cayenne pepper, totally optional. It's if you want it to be spicy. So I give that a stir, and basically now it's just tasting to see what needs to be added. We like it strong, so more garam masala, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, some more curry powder. What else did I add here? Oh, a tablespoon of sugar. We like to have a little bit of sweetness in there. Even though coconut milk is sweet, it's still nice to have a little bit more. And some ground black pepper as well. The other reason I add the sugar is because tomatoes are quite acidic and it helps cut that down. So here's a normal can of coconut milk. Our climate is cold or whatever, so most of the time coconut milk solidifies. but a lot of times it's kind of solid on top and then it's liquidy right at the bottom, so I like to scoop it out in small amounts. So at this point, you just want to just kind of let it all mellow. You don't really want it to boil. I heard that's not good for coconut milk, so I just kind of let it almost simmer, not really. This is one of those dishes where if you let it sit in the fridge, like the leftovers taste really good because there's time for everything to get together. And yeah, there you have it. There's some cloves on top there. So we got the final pot there. And earlier I made some mango pineapple chutney. So I like to put a dollop of that on top of the bowl, and we served it with some aloo kucha, which is basically a naan bread filled with samosa filling. Thanks.